everybody, Mary here from A Recreated Life, and today's frugal tip of the day is reuse your bags. Ziploc bags, bread bags, and also the wax paper that comes inside cereal boxes and like cake mix boxes and things like that. Don't throw that stuff away. Those are all great. I've talked many times in many videos that I've done about how I buy the Ziploc brand bags because they're nice and rugged and they'll last a good long time, and I wash them out. So we all know about the Ziploc bag thing, but for the bread bags, you guys, I did some research and found out some great tips, great other uses for wax paper and for the bread bags. So old bread bags can be used for lunches. I mean, think about it. We use a Ziploc baggie for lunches. Why not just use a bread bag? The end of it's nice and long. You can wrap it up and kind of fold it underneath the sandwich or whatever it is you're packing, chips or whatever. And do it, use it that way. You could even tie a knot in it and then cut the knot off when it comes time to eat. Take it on road trips and use it for trash, like while you're in the car, in case you guys have snacks, you need a trash bag, use a bread bag. Also too, I've mentioned before, if you have little kids, or even if you don't have little kids, if you want to take a wet washcloth and keep it in a bag in the car, and that way you have something to wipe your hands on if your hands get dirty, whether you have kids or adults or whatever. So use your bread bags for that. You can use it as a glove for greasing a pan. You put it right over your hand and then, dip your hand in either oil or butter or whatever and then grease a pan with it. Saves your hand, and then you can just peel it off inside out and throw it away. Use it for, this is what I used to do when my kids were little. I would use it for food scraps for the composting bin. My composting bin used to be away from the house a little ways, and so I always would save up my scraps while I was cooking, put them in the bread bag in the sink, and then at the end of the day, I would have my kids bring it out to the compost heap. You can use it for a liner for different pans or just different things around the kitchen or the house for that matter. A marinade bag, I would double it up if I were you though. Using a marinade bag, you don't want that marinade to leak all over the place, so I'd double it up. Great for a dirty diaper keeper. Keeps the smell down a little bit too, and also a pooper scooper. If you have dogs and you go to the park, bring them for pooper scoopers. And then wax paper. So wax paper, it comes inside cereal boxes. I've seen them inside like Bisquick baking mix boxes, cake mix boxes. Let me think, anything else, but you guys get the gist. And those wax paper bags in there, they pull apart really easily. The seams aren't that rugged, but even if they didn't, you could cut the seam off. So keep them and store them flat or fold them up like halfway or something, and then when you need, these I found some great tips. So wrap food for lunches. You can wrap up, way back in the day, back in the 50s and 60s, our mothers used to wrap our sandwiches in wax paper. So we'll go back to that. Storage, you can use them for storage, and I do this with parchment paper, but what a great idea to use the wax paper inside those because it's free. I just did a video the other day on I bought some chicken breasts and I pounded them flat and put them between sheets of parchment paper and put them in a baggie in my freezer. But you could use sheets of wax paper. Either parchment paper or wax paper prevents the stuff from sticking together when you freeze it. You can pull out one at a time. You can use it as a pan liner when you're making fudge. It hangs over, let the fudge cool, and once it's cooled, you just pull it out by the wax paper. You can wrap cheese in it. Apparently it's really good for a cheese wrapper. You can make a funnel, like a temporary funnel. If you're, saying make your own spice mixes and whatever, and you need a little funnel to put inside, pour it inside the bottle, use it for that. You can use it to roll out dough. You can use it to line a cutting board. That's actually a great suggestion if you have a wooden cutting board and you cut meat. It's not that great. I don't think you're supposed to use wooden cutting boards for meat, but that's great. You put the wax paper down, cut your meat, and then throw the wax paper away, and it prevents your the meat juices from like permeating your wooden cutting board. And I found this a great one. You rub it on a zipper. Rub the waxy part on a zipper that's not functioning properly, and it will make it more slippery. And this is a great tip. The number one best tip of the day is that Sometimes dogs and cats get scared when they have thunderstorms or fireworks or anything like that. Well, actually thunderstorms. And I've read that sometimes it's due to the fact that their hair gets static electricity during a thunderstorm. So take the wax paper and rub it on the animal too, and it might calm them down. Give it a try. See if it works. All right, you guys, there's our tip for the day. I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, and share. And please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow. Here's an important PS, you guys. Wax paper is meant for cold usage, and parchment paper is meant for hot usage. Like, say for instance, if you want to put a parchment paper on a cookie sheet and put cookies and then bake them in the oven, that's fine. But don't use wax paper in the oven. Parchment paper can be used in the freezer or the oven, so hot or cold, but wax paper cannot. So very important, you guys. Don't ever put wax paper in a hot usage in the oven.